What's up, everyone? Today I wanted to do a small review, it'll be a real short one, on the Tufts and Flowers Huge Miniatures Grass Tufts. So a couple months back, Huge Miniatures ran a Kickstarter for their new Tufts and Flowers. Now, Huge Miniatures ran a Kickstarter a while back, I'm not sure exactly when, for their static grass and phlox, and I wasn't part of that, but I had bought the static grass online through their web store, and also a couple of the phlox, which if you watch my videos, you've seen me use them before. And I thought they were really, really well done, very smart. Well, because I liked those, I decided when they brought the Kickstarter for the Tufts and the Flowers to go in for that. And the part that I was really interested in was the grass tufts. So I got the full set of grass tufts. They were $7 each, but you bought them as a pack. And there's burnt, which looks like this. The fertile grass, which is super bright. The desert, which is very dried out and dead. This is the muddy, which is a lot of browns in there. The mossy, which is a like neon color. And then here is the frosty, which is very like thinned out and light. So I got the 6 different types. Now they also had the flowers, but because if you've watched my video for Megan from Zombicide, I showed how to make flowers out of these, and that's basically around the same thing that they've done in the company. So if you don't want to make them yourself, then you can just buy them pre-made, but since I make them myself, this gives me the option of both, so I was interested in these. So now, comparing them to the competition, and the biggest competition is these here, the Army Painter Battlefield Tufts, and now they come in different types. This is the Swamp Tuft, and the initial difference is that this one has 150 tufts in it. This one has 77. But you can also see that in the small tufts down here, it's quite a bit more fibers than in this one here. I'll also open this up so that we can see the larges, because these are the smalls here, I believe. Yeah, these are the smalls. And then here are the larges. So here's large versus small. So you can see there. And the larges are definitely full of more fluff than the smalls. But the larges are not quite as full as the larges here. These are very, very, very full of material. This is much more about the larges here, the medium, of which you get 35, and then on here you get 50. So we already have 50 here, and then 100 of these, and this you get 30 small. So in terms of the competition, this is definitely winning. 150 tufts, which we would call medium and small if we are comparing to here. This one has 35 and 30. So there. So then what about the price? Now, unfortunately, I don't 100% know the price of these, of what they're going to be at retail. I just know the price on the Kickstarter, which I believe they said that's what the retail price was going to be if you buy it from the web store. So these packs here run about $8, and they're a huge amount of the static grass. So if this is anywhere in that realm of $7 to $8, I picked this up for $7.99 US at my local game store. So in terms of cost, you're paying the same. So when comparing these, this seems to be like a excellent value in comparison to this one, because for the most part, if you doubled these large ones and doubled them together where well, the large ones are hidden in there, but you know what I mean. If you double them together, you're getting even thicker than this now, and you're going to have 75 of them at that rate if you even wanted to go that rate. But Now my opinions on the colors. I think that the colors are awesome. I like that they are different enough. I keep pushing them out of the shot, but I think that they're different enough that each one of them can give you a very different feel. When looked at them closely, you can see that they're made up of browns, reds, blues, greens, yellows, all different kinds of mixes that give you this image once they're all put together. But it's very easy to think like, oh, I can put this on a swamp base and it'll go in there perfectly. This one can definitely be like a jungle or a forest. This one can be a field. These ones here, I can put as little plants in a snow base and it'll go perfectly. And then any of them, if you wanted to do flowers, I think any of them would really work, except for maybe this one because it's just really, really brown, unless you were doing some sort of desert flowers. But if you buy their foliage and mix it with these with just a little dab of glue on them, I think that they're excellent. So the last thing is, how do they work? And you see here I've tested quite a big chunk of them. If you watch my Abomina Bunny video, that's what I used these. That was the first video I used these in. I've used them since, but I haven't put them in any videos yet. Those videos are recorded. They'll be coming up later. But they work exactly the same. Both of them are self-adhesive, but if you're going to put them on a miniature, especially a miniature that you walk around and stomp around like this as you're playing. I mean, do you actually do it like that? Who knows? I might just be insane, but I think they're going to fall off if you try to use their adhesive. So the simple answer is a little drop of glue. And I just use super glue and they have stuck on perfectly. I haven't had any problem with either of these. So I just want you to know that if you're using these and you're like, oh, well, I really like the color of these, should I pick them up? I think definitely. My overall report is, I think you can tell I'm very happy with these so far. I love the color. At first I was thinking like, oh, these are a little thin, but even the smalls on a base, they look totally fine. This extra fluff that is put in here, I think is not as necessary. Now, it does give you the option on the big ones to cut them in half, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'd rather them just work out of the pack and not have to mess with that, because you end up dropping a whole bunch of the little fibers. Now also, I think you can see, it's coming up on the camera here, is a lot of the fibers have fallen off on here. I haven't found that to be true once I take them off of the backing. It kind of seems like what is going to fall off of the package has already fallen off. Now, this is something that I worry about if this is, hung up at a store, is people might walk by and see that and think that that's what they're going to be getting. But I can tell you that if you're watching this, don't be alarmed by that. It is not like that. Once you put them onto the base with that little dab of super glue, they are stuck on there, and I love the feeling of them. So like touching them back and forth, I haven't seen any fibers coming off of them. So I think that about does it. Just to remind you to like and subscribe for more reviews, and definitely check out my painting videos, and go to hugeminis.com if you want to pick up any of these. I definitely recommend them. I think they are a great value. I looked on the website today and they are not currently up. I think they're still getting them out to their Kickstarter backers, but definitely look into their static grass and their foliage in the meantime, because they are excellent products. And I'll see you guys next time.